Welcome to our Advent Midweek Devotional, Week 2, the Week of Peace, asking ourselves how Emmanuel, God with us, can bring peace to our lives, to our families and communities, and to our world. We thank you for joining us. My name is Janelle Rice, pastor at Calvary Moravian Church in Allentown. Welcome as we read together Matthew chapter 1, verses 18 through 25. And again, we're following a devotional from the Illustrated Ministries called God with Us. Matthew 1. Now the birth of Jesus the Messiah took place in this way. When his mother Mary had been engaged to Joseph, but before they lived together, she was found to be with child from the Holy Spirit. Her husband Joseph, being a righteous man and unwilling to expose her to public disgrace, planned to dismiss her quietly. But just when he had resolved to do this, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream and said, Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary as your wife, for the child conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. She will bear a son, and you are to name him Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins. All this took place to fulfill what had been spoken by the Lord through the prophet. Look, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and they shall name him Emmanuel, which means God with us. When Joseph awoke from sleep, he did as the angel of the Lord commanded him. He took her to be his wife, but he had no marital relationships with her until she had borne a son, and he named him Jesus. Two brief points in this reading as presented to us today. Joseph learns that he is to be a father. There might have been an immediate reaction to dismiss her, to turn her into the authorities, to get angry, to get even. But instead he sleeps on it. You wonder if maybe a friend or just the spirit within told him, sleep on it. He slept on it, and while he did that, an angel came to him. Maybe sometimes to not make those rash decisions, to snap judgments, to rest, to ponder, to just allow something to ruminate in our lives, in our minds for a day or so is a good thing. And finally, after that sleep and that visit from the angel, he is told not to be afraid, but to name this child Emmanuel, meaning God with us. Look at the name of Emmanuel, God with us. How does names give power and identity? Maybe think for a moment about your own name. How did it give you power or identity? Why were you named what you are? And is there a meaning or a story behind it? Ponder what it means for you to hear that the Christ child would also be known as Emmanuel, God with us. Does it bring peace to your life?
Until the Son
does a name mean? The name of Emmanuel may have meant something to those young parents of Joseph and Mary, as Illustrated Ministries ends their devotion by saying, maybe anytime they are confused or scared or sad, they can speak their son's name and be reminded that God is as close as their own flesh and blood. Anytime they're celebrating, rejoicing, dancing, they can call out to him in delight that each of their days is sacred because they shared this with the one who bears God to them and for them. The peace of God's presence isn't a promise that everything will be good or easy, but a reassurance that whatever will happen, they are not alone. Maybe Advent comes now to promise us that peace. Whenever we turn our attention to the sacred companions that accompany us each day, whenever we name God's presence near us, we experience that peace. Emmanuel, God with us. Thanks for joining us this week.